Sendaria here. I'm doing a series. This one's part 1. It's about face and hair, but first, pencils. So this is a comparison between Prismacolor and Faber Castell. These are the two dark browns. They're the most similar I could get of the two shades from the two brands. And it's just showing you side by side the difference in colour. So all of these are face colours, my main face colour being the peach, for any face shade because I just darken it. So that's the Prismacolor peach. One before was Faber Castell, and then this is the Prisma light peach. I get asked all the time why I use both brands. Doing a little scribble like this kind of shows you why. I mean, the colours are blatantly different. I'd call this like a medium brown. So this Faber Castell, I actually really like it. It's good for contour. And Prismacolor burnt ochre is probably the closest I could get to it, and yet it's still a bit darker. I also use grey sometimes, depending on the scene. I don't often use grey, but for this picture I did. So that's a light Faber and 20% cool grey Prisma, probably the closest match I could find. These next colours don't really fit into the category. This one's like a light Faber brown. This one's like an ochre, kind of yellowy brown, Faber Castell. This is a Prismacolor putty beige, and it's like a browny grey, and then the beige itself. So yeah, both really nice colours, but no real comparison in either colour that I could find. Be careful with this brown, it can make you look too yellow, very lightly used. This is going to be based on Nesta coming out of the Cauldron the next few videos. I hope you like them. First things first is putting down your base. So I've got peach, and I've just done a light dusting to a point where, I mean, you can't even see it, but it's there. And then I go back and press just a little bit harder than what I did into places where shadow would be. So, I mean, Nesta's just come out of the Cauldron. She looks like a drowned rat type thing. I can imagine she's pissed off. There might be a bit more extra shadow, so I'm just filling in where I think it would be, and it's almost mapping it out for the darker colours. Ignore the fact that the camera is up the wrong way. That was my fault. The next one will be the right way, so I do apologise. But yeah, like I say, go through and map out where your shadow is going to be. So because of the situation, you know, Nesta's come out of the Cauldron. She's all wet and angry, and I imagine a bit drab. So that's why I'm using grey, and it's a light grey, so it's not really doing a huge difference. But I'm just putting it into parts around the shadow just to add, I don't know, a little bit of dullness, really. So just around the eyes mainly, and a little bit around the hair. Now, this is, it's not the medium brown, but it's that lighter brown. Faber Castell, because it's not super bright and dark, and again, just following slightly over where those shadows were made with the peach. So around the eyes, around the hair, under the chin, kind of in all those clavicle chest bones, under the cheeks, things like that. So it's just bringing those shadows out a little bit more than what they were. So as you can see, she's looking a little darker. I come back with the Prisma dark brown, and you know, go back into those shadows. So when I'm going in each time, like with the darker colours, I'm not going completely over it. Look, I'm coming back, so there's those 3 layers still in there, but I'm not completely getting rid of it. Also, what you'll see is it's kind of messy, so that looks really rough and rugged, but when I come back over with the peach again, you'll see why. It kind of smooths out, so don't be freaked out by it. This is the light peach, and this is what I mean by it blends back. So this is me literally covering the whole lot of it, and you see how it's kind of bringing it all together softly, and it's making it look all nice. So that's what I mean. Don't be too worried if your dark brown looks a bit messy, because especially with the Prismacolor, everyone goes on about how buttery they are, and they almost act as like a blender pencil, really. And as you can see, the shadow's still there, but it is evening it out, and it's making it look a lot prettier than what it was before. You'll also see there's a bit of fallout, but that's the Prismacolor way. Not in a bad way, but it just happens. So I've got my main base down, so I'll come in and colour in the eyebrows. I mean, she's just come out of water, so I'm going to make those just straight brown. You know, I'm not going to do anything fancy. And I want her eyes to look a bit darker as well. So I've used Peach for her lips because in this scene I imagined her quite pale. You know, you've just come out of a cauldron. You're not going to look all pretty with pink lips. I've put the cool grey, so this wasn't in the colour swatch before, but it is the 50% cool grey from Prismacolor, just to add that I've just come out of a cauldron type look to her lips, and it's not too crazy, it's not a dark shadow, it's just a soft touch. Now, the Archeron sister eyes, blue grey. I'll list the blue that is being used in the description, but basically what I did with this is I mixed a light blue with a light grey. I mean, it's pretty simple and straightforward. I didn't add any black in though for her highlights around her eyes because I want her to look a bit different and spaced out. So it's just a mixture of those two to make that blue grey kind of look. And I've gone and got the white just to kind of brighten the whites up a bit because, you know, you kind of make mistakes. Coming back, it's almost like makeup. So I've got my base down, but now I'm like, she's probably pretty angry. She might have been wearing makeup. It might be smudged. So I'm just adding a bit more dark brown around that kind of bottom part, accentuating her bags, so to speak. It sounds really mean, but, you know, like I just expected her to look pretty horrible. And again, whenever I make changes to anything, add different colours, I'll come back with that peach just to blend it back in. And then my main thing is I'll start framing the hair around it once I'm kind of happy with the face. I nearly forgot her ear. I use the same kind of idea as the face to colour in the ear. I know she's got like golden brown here, but she's wet, so I've gone more dark brown, less golden. I will add other tones of brown to make it a little golden in some areas, but I mean, this is why it's so dark, because I know a lot of people are going to go, well, her hair's golden brown, this isn't golden brown, but yeah, I'm trying to think of the fact that she's just come out of a bathtub-like thing with black water in it. I'm also, when I get to the water, I mean, that's going to be interesting because I've got to merge it into her hair, so I haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet, but I feel like I'm going to use some white pencils and white gel pen to kind of make it pop. So I basically will go through with the dark brown and I'll just follow it. Like, you know, I'll just pick and choose parts that seem dark and light, or I'll just mix it up. Like every second line I'll do the top of it dark brown. You know, I don't have any method to how I do the hair. It's just, you know, it's all lined up, so why not? If you don't know how to shadow, where do you want your shadows to be, which I'm not really paying attention in this because it's a bit of a weird page, so just do every second line, you know, like, or the top half and then kind of blend into it, if you know what I mean. So this is, you can see kind of where I've done that. So I've got, you know, half the brown here, and then you'll see I'll just come in and fill it in. Some parts I'll leave white, which is where I'm going to put the third brown. And, I mean, that's basically how I'll shade and how I pick to shade, which sounds really odd and not really artistic, but it works, I guess. The other thing I wanted to say too is, you know, if you find this too fast, let me know. If you have any other questions or you're not picking something up, if I'm talking too fast, all of that, just let me know. You know, I want these to be helpful, and I mean, as I've said before, I'm not a professional artist or professional colouring in person, but a lot of people have asked for advice, so I figured I'd take the time to give it. And like I say, if you've got other questions and I've missed things or it's too fast, let me know so that the next video I do, I can slow it down a little bit. So I'm just finishing off with the medium brown, going through the hair, and then you go through with that brown that I told you to be careful with. It's like ochre, I guess, that yellowy, browny kind of colour. It's great for golden brown hair, but not the best for the face. You can use it on the face and it can look really nice, but if you use too much, it makes you look a bit jaundiced, and unless you're colouring a jaundiced person, it's not the best look. Finish it off with a bit of black. I don't put black through the whole lot, just kind of where shadows would be and where your hair crosses over, things like that. So I hope you enjoy this, and like I said, ask any questions if you have them. This is the final product that I came up with, and show me what you do. Thanks, bye.